It's evening here, so it might be morning where you are. Yep, or afternoon. But I am so happy to be here with you guys. I always enjoy our live sessions. So, yeah, thank you for joining me today. Before we start talking about sayings, I want to talk about a smoothie that I really like. I don't know whether to call it juice or smoothie. I think it's a smoothie because I blended like two different fruits together, okay? And I never knew that this combination works at all, but I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. It's actually a mixture of kiwi um, with the oranges. So I haven't had oranges in quite a while. Oh, I know, yeah, because oranges are very nutritious. And I was able to get seedless oranges. I don't know if we have these in Kenya, but maybe we do, yeah. But in Kenya, I would only get the oranges with the seeds in them. But the seedless one really works because all I have to do is peel the orange and put it in the blender and mix the kiwi in. Hey, some just you've never had a smoothie? Oh my gosh, you should. You should try. So before I start talking about sayings and whatnot, I want to show you the smoothie. And if you guys like it, you can try it and then let me know in the comments. Okay. So I made this earlier and I put it in this glass so I can show you guys properly. I covered it with foil. But you know, when you go to the restaurants, they have those covers, like white covers that you can cover your drink with. I think I should get some of those. Yeah. But we have to make do with what we have. So there we go. So this is the smoothie I made. I added water, just a little bit of water, not too much. It is so delicious. Yeah. So I can't wait to have it after this live. Just look at that. I don't know if I can show you guys without pouring it. Yeah, but that's how it looks like. Oh, you prefer shakes? Okay, no problem with that. But I just like smoothies. I feel like it's an easy way to like have fruits as well. So that is really cool and I love the color. So kiwi, so this was two kiwis and two oranges. Yeah. And this is what you get. Yep, so I just wanted to show you guys this. Hi Glenn, how are you? Glenn, have you seen my smoothie? It's a mixture of kiwi and oranges. Yep, really, really good. That's all I put in the blender. I put in two kiwis, peeled them off, and then two oranges with a little bit of water, and that was all. Yep. So I can't wait to have it after this. It's just something that I wanted to suggest so you guys can try it. Actually, before like when was it? When did I first have this mixture? I think like a few days ago. That's the first time I've ever had this mixture, and I love it because I love kiwis, but sometimes just eating kiwi by itself is not. I mean, I like it, but I wanted something different, and the oranges came to my rescue. You really should. You really should. Yeah. It's super, super nice. I love it. You'll try it and then you'll let me know. So today I want to talk about sayings. Yeah. You know, the short, memorable. Ooh, boo, 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 what did I do? The short, memorable phrases, or sentences that really express, maybe it could be a truth or an opinion. And growing up, we really had, we were learning these sayings either in school or at home. Like there's one that comes to mind, a stitch in nine. Oh, see, I almost said it the wrong way. A stitch in time saves nine. Yeah. So, so many sayings that we used to have. So I just have like a few here that I compiled from the internet, okay? And so I just wanted to go over them with you guys. Yeah. So a stitch in time saves nine. What do you think that means? A stitch in time saves nine. just by the sentence or the phrase, you know. I would take it to mean, or this is the meaning that I've known all along, that when you, so let me look at the literal meaning and then we can look at the implied meaning. So the literal meaning would be like, if maybe a piece of cloth, you know, is tearing up, yeah, the best thing to do would be to like stitch it up, you know, in good time before the whole garment tears off. Yeah. So a stitch in time saves nine. Okay. So it could also mean the implied meaning that whatever little effort you put on, you put in on a daily basis could go a long way to help in the future. So a stitch in time saves nine. Okay. And then there's one that is super common. I think all of us know it. The early bird catches the worm. Hi, Cryptic Church. Yeah, the early bird catches the worm. So, uh, this, I think, not even I think, I know, you know, that growing up, we would use this phrase, you know, maybe our parents, our relatives, or even at school, the teachers would be like, the early bird catches the worm. So it was to encourage us to wake up early, you know. Yeah. So it basically means if you're in time, if you arrive early, you're most likely to get the best opportunity, you know, or you're most likely to achieve things in good time. So, yeah, the early bird catches the worm, or whatever. Yeah. So this is really good, especially when you want to encourage someone to wake up early, especially with kids, you know, it would just be something to like encourage them to like go, 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 go. Even though I feel like kids wake up very early, especially when like you're in elementary school. That is something I always wonder, like, why do kids wake up like super, super early in the morning? In Kenya, I do see kids going to school like so early, that maybe 5 or 5:30, they're already on the road early in the morning. And you're like, when did the kids wake up? So I feel like long term it's like a good trait to have, but I feel like kids should just be kids, especially young kids. Let's say maybe 9 years and below. My thinking would be like, let the kids sleep, go to school in good time. But sometimes I think it's because of just the logistics of it all, and the parents also have to go to work. Yeah, so I think there's a lot that goes into that. Yeah. Hi Terry, how are you? So another saying is, let a sleeping dog lie. Yeah, let a sleeping dog lie. For me, I take that to mean that if you see a dog that's sleeping, literally just sleeping, let it be. Don't go poking on the dog and disturbing the dog and stuff like that. And sometimes in life, it would mean, you know, if you see, like, there are certain situations you don't have to go and poke and poke and poke and poke. Otherwise, you might really find yourself in hot soup or deep trouble. Yeah. What's that? I don't know what that means, Sam J. So what does that mean? Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the broth. I don't know if you've had that. Like if you have so many opinions, you know, or if you have so many experts on one issue, sometimes you're not able to really find the resolution that you're looking for, or it would cause a lot of confusion. So I take it to mean like it could cause like a lot of confusion. So too many cooks will spoil the broth. Okay. Um, I've had this one being used a lot, like the best thing since sliced bread. The way I use it is that, uh, like sliced bread is. I don't know if you've ever had like bread that's not yet sliced. It's quite inconveniencing to just cut the bread and cut it and cut it. And sliced bread just makes things easy, you know? It makes things super easy. You get your bread and you're good to go. It's already sliced and ready to go. Yeah, so I use it when I want to refer to something that's easy, convenient, you know, and cool. So I'll be like, oh, that's the best thing since sliced bread. I don't know what that means. Who said that word? I didn't say it, Sam Jess. I did not. Um, okay, which one else? So I'm just going through the sayings that I know, and then I'll share the ones that I might not know the meaning or I've never heard of, and then you guys can let me know. Okay, there's another one. A fool and his money are soon parted. So this means, like it's just a way to encourage us to be smart with our money, the way we manage our money. Because if you're reckless with your finances, then boom. If there's one thing about money that I have come to realize over the years, getting money is very challenging and difficult in most instances. Maybe there are people who have like wonderful jobs and careers that you don't really have to put a lot of efforts to like get paid. But I do know that getting money is not easy. You have to put in the effort, you have to put in the hard work, the smartness, the sweat. If you're going to work, you have to wake up every morning, get ready for work, go to work, spend hours away from your family or from your loved ones, and then come back. So getting the money, to get money or finances, you put in a lot of effort. But spending money, ooh, that's the easy part. Spending money is easy, easy, easy. So I think that's why someone came up with this saying, a fool and his money are soon parted. So that's just a challenge or a lesson to all of us to be wise with our money. Okay. Okay, a watch pot never boils. So this one I know, but I never heard of this saying until today. But I do know of something similar, to this. I just didn't know that it's a saying. But back home, we would cook. When I say back home, I mean Kenya. This is my home now to where I am now. Yeah. So I don't want to confuse you guys. So let me just say back in Kenya, because I'm home now too. So in Kenya, when we cook ugali, which I do cook ugali here as well. As a matter of fact, I did prepare ugali today. That was really good. Yeah, so the water has to come to a boil. Okay. Oh, welcome everyone. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you, nobody. Thank you so much and welcome. Yeah, so the water comes to a boil. What we do, we sprinkle a little bit of the flour, the ugali flour, just to help the water boil faster. Or that's what I've been told and I've been doing all this while. But it works for me. But then when you stand there or sit there and wait for the water to come to a boil, it takes forever, forever. You guys try this, you let me know. If you have water on a stove, in a pot on a stove, and you're waiting for it to come to a boil, it takes forever. Yeah, so a wash pot never a wash pot never boils. Yeah, so that is my literal meaning, and I use my ugali symbolism for that. But apparently it does mean that if you're constantly like checking on time, then time goes very slowly, super slowly. And that has happened to me before as well. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have another meaning to that, but that's what I could take from. That's the meaning I could, come up with from the saying, a washed pot never boils. Yeah. Okay. And then don't count your chickens before they hatch. So we in our family we had chicken. Okay, we would rear chickens, like really live chickens. Okay. I think most Kenyan family homes have chickens that they rear. Not all, I say most. Yeah. And then they would lay their eggs. After they lay their eggs, the hens, and then lay their eggs, and then actually literally sleep on the eggs. I don't know what that process is called. Maybe someone can let me know in the comments what that is called. So the hens will lay their eggs, and then we keep the eggs, for them like separately. And then when they're done laying the eggs, they would actually sleep on the eggs. So I think this is maybe the, I don't want to say the incubation process, but maybe it is. Yeah. But I don't want to, yeah. I think it's the incubation period. Yes, yeah, where like the hens actually, lay on their eggs, and then after that process, pop, the chickens will hatch. Yeah, but I do think this only happens when the hens are like, so there has to be like a male hen. I don't know if I can use that one. But a male hen, the name starts with the C, a male hen, right? Has to be in the mix so that the eggs are fertilized before the hen lays the eggs. I hope I have it right, because it's been a while. So anyway, you can have like 10 eggs, 20 eggs. So in your mind, you could be thinking like, 20 chickens will hatch. 20 chicks, sorry, But no, 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 no. Sometimes not all eggs are good eggs, and you might only get like maybe 10 chicks out of 15, or, it depends. Yeah. So that's why I think the saying, don't count your chickens before they hatch, came up, because just to remind us to really not really count 100% on the plans that we have made, right? I don't know if that makes sense, but it does make sense in my head. Like, even if you're like waiting on something or you're counting on something, don't be 100% sure, because anything could go wrong. And trust me, I have learned this lesson so many times, too many to count. Yeah. Do not 100% put your faith in everything that you do. It's good to like think positively and be like, yes. I'll give an example that will probably drive this point home. Like, let's say you're expecting to be paid, or you did a job somewhere and you're expecting money, or there's a deal that you're expecting to go through, So it's good to have that expectation, and you should actually get your rights, like payment or whatever is owed to you, but do not make other plans basing on that. Say, for example, I expect to get paid maybe in a couple of days. This is just an example. And then I make plans to probably go away somewhere for like 2-3 days with the money that I'm expecting in a couple of days. And then what happens if maybe there's a delay? Say I don't get paid on that day, or something happens and I can't access my money. So what that means is all the other plans I made based on my payment in a couple of days will be just super messed up. Yeah, so don't count your chickens before they hatch, okay? So don't make plans on a future outcome that is not yet guaranteed. Ideally, what would we do, or what would I do? Wait for the payment, then make plans. Wait until you have your money in hand. It could apply to anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be about money. But as we know, money runs the world. We need money for everything. We need money for groceries. We need money for heating the house, for the AC. We need money to go to school. Like money. I don't need to worry about this right now. Okay, well, good for you, Sam Jess. I don't know what it is you don't need to worry about. Yep. Okay. Mirror check time. Yeah, all good. I don't know why I have like really dry lips. It's something that I cannot figure out. All right. The pot's calling the kettle black. Have you ever heard of that? Like someone say, "Oh, that's the pot calling the kettle black." So if you have a pot and you have a kettle and you place them on your stove top and you're cooking, um, over time you tend to get like black residue underneath the pot. Sometimes it goes even just on the sides, and the same applies to the kettle. So it could be like how could I explain it? Yeah, so literally it's like the pot calling the kettle black. That would not make sense because they would both have the same black residue on them, so it doesn't really make sense. So it could be used in a scenario whereby one person is criticizing the other for the exact same thing that both of them are doing. Make it make sense. So hence the saying, the pot is calling the kettle black. Okay, and there's also another one that goes, I don't know how let me see if I can remember it. Yeah, like when you're removing a log in someone's eyes, when you have one in your eye. Okay, I didn't say it right. Maybe we'll come across that saying. If someone knows how that saying goes, yeah, then put it down. Oh, you don't have to worry about money. That's good. I'm happy for you, Sam Jess. So happy for you. That's a good worry not to have. Oh, so I talked about too many cooks spoil the broth. Others would say it as too many cooks spoil the gravy. I had spoken about it earlier on. All right. So which other saying did I come across? Burning the midnight oil. I'm burning the midnight oil. Burning the midnight oil. This is it means exactly like what the phrase says, burning the midnight oil, like working literally overnight, working through the night, toiling. Yeah. So in the old, is it olden days or older days? Olden days. I think it's the olden days. That sounds about right in my head. Let me see. Olden days. Yes, in the olden days, yeah. Uh there were the small lamps, where it had like the wick and then like the kerosene lamps. I don't know if you guys know of the kerosene lamps, yeah, or maybe oil lamps. Yeah, so you'd have like a wick in, I hope I'm saying it right. Let me see what the wick means, because it really let me see. Yeah, so you have the wick in the oil lamp. Yeah, that's what it was. And then it's in the kerosene, and then the kerosene will be soaked up by that, and then you light it. So that is what it meant to like literally burn the midnight oil. So if you're staying up late to work, those are the kind of lamps you'd use. And so this saying came from that, burning the midnight oil. We don't necessarily use that nowadays. Yeah, even though I know there's some parts in Kenya where people still use this, and maybe other parts in the world. But for the most part, especially in first world countries, I don't think that people use this. So we still use the same saying, even though we have electricity. But if you're working overnight, if you're grinding, it's still called burning the midnight oil. Okay. So it just means staying up late to either work or study. Yep. All right. So another saying that comes to mind. You guys can also share sayings with me. I would love to hear from you guys. I know there's still many more sayings that I can't really think of at the top of my head right now. So I'm just going through the ones that I know, and then I'll share the ones that I don't know, and then we can try and figure out what they mean together. Hi, Terry. How are you? Okay, so another saying is so I'll go to the sayings that I don't really maybe know or I've never heard of, and then maybe I've heard of them, but I don't really really know them. Okay, so let's go with Which one? Which one? Which one? Let me see which one to pick. Let me see which one to pick. Oh, turn a blind eye. This I think I do know. Turning a blind eye to something means that you're literally just ignoring that that thing is not happening, you know? And I think a lot of us have turned a blind eye to many, many things. Sometimes it does help, you know, especially if something is like triggering or aggravating. I would personally just turn a blind eye to that and I'll be like, you know what? It's not serving me in any good or positive way. So why would I give it any form of energy? Yeah. Hey girl, you haven't been to one of your lives for a while. Yes, I do know gaming, yeah, and I need to be more consistent. I've also not been on here for a while, but happy to have you back. Oh, turn the other cheek. Yes, El Marie, exactly. That one I think literally comes like from the Bible, I think, where they're like, if you slap this way, turn the other cheek. I don't know that there are people who do that. I don't know that if you walk up to someone and slap them, that's the literal meaning, yeah? So please do not go around slapping people. That is assault, that's being violent, and you will be answerable to that. You will face justice. So, but it was used to like mean, you know, I think if someone slaps you, just turn the other cheek, ignore, like don't really uh, the implied meaning would be like, I think, and maybe El Marie, you can let me know what you think about the saying since you mentioned it. I think it just means not like really feeding into things that really don't serve to uplift you or are not positive, you know? Yeah. Or say if someone insults you, just turn the other cheek and, you know, just let it go. Just let it be. Because if I insult you and you insult me and we keep on insulting each other, which it's not good to go out there and just start insulting people. Yeah, so I think maybe that's what that means. Well, thank you so much, El Marie, for that. And if I didn't explain it the right way, guys, please let me know. Let me know. We are learning together, okay? And what else? Okay. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, share this live, and thank you so much for joining me today as we talk about sayings. Yeah? Okay. Um Jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. This one I know this. Can you imagine how hot a frying pan is? How hot I I can only imagine because I've burnt myself a few times. You know, sometimes you cook and then I don't know what happens. I don't want to speak for everyone else, but I have zoned out, once or twice, and before I knew it, I was super super burnt. I was like, oh my gosh! Or you could be cooking or frying something on the frying pan and then you forget that the pan is actually hot and you go to touch it and you're like, ooh, yeah. So imagine experiencing that heat and then going right into the fire that is actually causing the frying pan to be that hot. So it just means, according to my understanding, just moving from a bad situation to a worse situation, Uh, yeah, don't be cross. Let it be. Yes, well said, El Marie. Thank you. Yeah. So jumping from the frying pan into the fire is like, this is a bad situation. You can see it's a bad situation, but you're still moving into an even worse situation. Like, why would you want to do that to yourself? Why would you want to move from the frying pan into the fire? I don't know why. Have I maybe done it before? Yeah, it's called life, but this is just a saying that reminds us to please remember how hot that frying pan is, okay? Remember just how hot the frying pan is. Please do not jump from the frying pan into the fire. At least not if you can help it, okay? So that's a very, very important saying, I would say, yeah. Um, there's one here. Okay, another one. Make hay while the sun shines. Yeah. So I've heard of this saying a lot growing up. But in my mind, I just couldn't picture what hay was. I would watch movies and I would see, oh, the hay and stuff like that. Until I came here and I really saw the hay, the way the grass is bundled. Yeah. We do have grass in Kenya. We also do have hay in Kenya. But just the way I would see the grass or the hay. Is the grass hay? First of all, let me get that out of the way before I confuse things over here. Yeah. So yeah. So hay is a type of uh grass. Hay is a type of hay made from dried grass. Okay. Yeah. So I never really saw hay the way I would see in movies until I came here to the US. And so now I understand why they say make hay while the sun shines. That way you're able to dry your grass and you're able to do whatever you're supposed to do. So I think it means, this is what I think it means, make the best of the opportunities you have before the environment is not conducive or before they slip away. That's my interpretation of that. If someone has a better meaning, please let me know in the comments. Okay. So which one else? Now I'm gonna move to the sayings that I personally do not know or have not really interacted with them as much. And then you guys can let me know what the meanings are, or we can try to figure out the meanings together. Okay. So, okay, which one is that? Okay. Burning the candle at both ends. To be honest, I've never heard of this saying. I'm just being completely honest. Until today, I've never heard of this saying, burning the candle at both ends. Do not put the cart in front of the horses. Oh, that's a nice one. Thank you. I've never heard of that. Don't go too quick with assumptions. Okay. Well, thank you for that, El Marie. That's a nice one. Yeah. And I have learned in life not to make assumptions because you never know. It's like, could it be like also another one that's the saying that goes, don't judge a book by its cover? I don't know if that's kind of related, but that's a good one. Thank you for sharing, El Marie. Uh-huh. So the other one, the one I was talking about that I've never heard of is burning the candle at both ends. What do you think this means? Burning the candle at both ends. Uh, so according to Google, to the internet, it means because I never heard of it, so I don't know. But if you burn a candle at both ends, that doesn't even make sense. I don't know what candle they're talking about. I don't think it is this type of candle. Maybe the candle that is. Anyway, because now I have this candle which I haven't burnt yet. Just speaking of candles, smells really good. With 3 weeks, smells really, really good. Ooh, maybe I should start burning this candle. Anyway, so burning the candle at both ends. Oops. Okay, that's a heavy one. It means to, too busy. Yes, you're right. Yay, Marie. So it means to overwork yourself to the point of exhaustion. Okay. So originally it literally means to burn a candle from both the top and the bottom. So I think they mean the other candles, the long ones, the ones that you can see both ends. Yeah. Well, El Marie, thank you. So I'll start using this saying. I'll be like, oh my gosh, I've burned myself. I've burned the candle at both ends. Stop burning the candle at both ends. Okay. Hit the hay or hit the sack. Never heard of that saying. Hit the hay or hit the sack. Let me take a little bit of water. Hit the hay or hit the sack. What does that mean? Too hasty? Too fast, you mean? Is that burning the candles at both ends or hit the hair or hit the sack, El Marie? Which one are you referring to? Because according to what I checked from the internet, it says go to bed. Hit the hair or hit the sack, because they do say that in the early 1900s, people's beds were made out of hay or sack. Can you imagine? Out of hay, or they were made out of sacks filled with hay. Oopsie, yeah, that's what I meant. But can you imagine how far we've come from those days when people would have their mattresses as sacks filled with hay to now, where we have different kinds of mattresses, hot, cold, you can adjust it. That is crazy, super crazy. Okay, so if I want to go to bed, I'll be like, oh, I'm hitting the hay, hit the sack, I'm hitting the sack. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, so let me see another one. Another one. If you lie down with dogs, I've never heard of this one. If you lie down with dogs, you get up with fleas. Uh-oh. Oh, hit the sack. Go away. Go to bed. Okay. Got it, El Marie. Thank you. Well, El Marie, you know these sayings. That's amazing. We are learning. I'm learning too. All right. So, if you lie down with dogs, you get up with fleas. I'm like, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that saying. So, this is what it means. Associating with bad people will lead to you getting in trouble. If you lie down with dogs, you get up with fleas. Never heard of it. Never heard of that, but apparently that's the saying. Okay. All right. So another one that I've never heard about is don't throw the baby out with the bath water. I'm like, who in their right mind would do that? Don't throw the baby away with the bath out with the bath water. Don't throw the baby out with the bath water. So it means do not throw away something valuable along with the waste. Like don't discard of valuable things along with the waste. Okay. So I'm just reading verbatim what I got from the internet. I don't know how true this is because I've never heard of the saying. So if you have a different meaning, please do let me know in the comments. So it comes from the historical practice of bathing babies last in the tub of water that had become very dirty. Never heard of that. That is crazy. I need to look more into this. Let me see. Don't throw the baby out with the bath water. I still don't get it. Never heard of this. It's the same as when you give yourself out as a toffee, you may be chewed. Oh, I know toffee. Toffee are the sweets, right? I still don't get it. If you give yourself out, don't. Oh, you're telling me not to overreact, or the saying says do not overreact. I'm so confused, El Marie. Help me understand. Okay. Oh, so don't throw the baby out with the bath water means so it serves as a warning to separate the good from the bad than just like discarding everything together. Okay. So in the olden times, a family would share bath water. That's quite interesting. I didn't even know that. And then the water became so dirty. And then by the end of the process, there was the risk of accidentally throwing the baby away with the bath water. Okay. Now I'm kind of getting it. So the meaning is avoid letting go of something good because it's attached to something bad. So the origin is a German proverb. So I'll try and read this. Hopefully, I'll do it justice. Das Kind mit dem Bade auszustechen. To pour the baby out with the bath. Okay. So the long and short of this saying, don't throw the baby out with the bath water. In the olden days, families would share the bath water and the baby would be bathed last. That's crazy because it means the baby was getting the short end of the stick. See what I did there? I used another saying to explain a saying. Okay. Which I don't know what the literal meaning of the short end of the stick means, but I know what it means getting a bad deal or something like that. Okay. So as a matter of fact, let me look it up and see what it means literally. Short end of the stick. Or to receive, yeah, basically what I just said. It means to receive the unfair or unfavorable part of a deal or a situation. Yes. Okay. I don't know if I have another saying. If you guys have another saying, you can share before we wrap this up. I hope you guys are enjoying this live. I certainly am. Okay. Let me see. Skin of my teeth. Skin of my teeth. First of all, do we even have skin on our teeth? Maybe the gums. But the skin of my teeth. Skin of my teeth. Oh no, it's a saying, do not overreact. Okay. Thank you, Elmarie. What is skin of my teeth? First of all, do I have any skin on my teeth? Okay, let me see. I really used to enjoy these sayings growing up. I don't use them as much in my adult life, and I just feel like it's something that I really need to, start using, embracing, finding out what the meanings are. Yeah. So, skin of my teeth, skin of my teeth. Let's see what that means. Skin of my teeth. Skin of my teeth. Okay. So it's an idiom, okay? And it means to narrowly escape, narrowly escape a difficult or dangerous situation. Okay. I'm just curious to know how that would be used in a sentence. Skin of my teeth. I escaped by the skin of my teeth. Does that make sense? Let me see how you use it in a sentence. It's actually like a narrow margin. So maybe only by because your skin of your teeth is your gums, right? I don't know. If anyone has, okay, so here it says that this idiom or idiom, I don't know how you pronounce that word, originates from the book of Job in the Bible. I don't have my Bible here now to open it up. But he escaped with the skin of my teeth. So barely surviving something. Okay. All right. I get it now. So I just know that the one that I have hair on my teeth. Okay. Never heard of that one. What's the meaning of that? Guys, please be respectful. I don't want to block anyone. Let's be respectful in the comments, okay? Yeah, so skin of my teeth. Let me see. Elmarie. Elmarie, let me see your message. Hair on my teeth. Okay. Let me see. Hair on my teeth. Hair on my teeth. I don't see the saying. Let me see. So hair on your teeth means to be assertive, outspoken, or tough. Okay. That is cool. There's so many sayings out there. It's crazy. Excuse me. Oopsie. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that. Okay. That means you must have a lot of patience. Yeah. Which one? Hair on your teeth? Okay. Interesting. 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 Okay. So another one is, so skin of my teeth. We found out it means to narrowly escape a very dangerous situation. Okay. All right. Maybe I'll do a couple more. Cry wolf. I think I've had cry wolf before. Cry wolf just means, according to my understanding, that's how can I say this? Cry wolf. I know it in my head, but I'm trying to express it, but I can't get the right words to do it. It means that you are maybe claiming to be wronged when that is not the case. I don't know if that makes sense. False alarm. Yes, yes. False alarm. Yeah. Where are you from, by the way? Dazzle Boy, I am from Kenya. I'm from Kenya. Yeah. So cry wolf. Well, so a couple more sayings. You guys can also share as El Marie is doing. Still waters run deep. I've had this one several times before. So the literal meaning would be, if you see still waters, just know that that water runs deep, like it's super, super deep. Well, I guess all of us could figure that out. Yeah. But it could be like someone who is like more like quiet in nature, that that could be a concealment of a more passionate side, you know. Yeah, so if you see someone calm and quiet, don't be fooled, you know. Don't think that that person doesn't have like a passionate side or nature to them. Yeah. Bluffing. Still got a runs deep. It means bluffing. I don't know that it means that, El Marie. Opposite of empty vessel makes more noise. Yep. Yeah, I've heard of that. An empty vessel makes a lot of noise. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. We've had a lot of those. Yeah. So many sayings. So many sayings. Yeah. All right. So I think those are the sayings I have. This is quite interesting. Maybe I'll look up more sayings, and in our next live we can talk a little bit more about that. Yeah. People who are quiet are more passionate. Yes, more passionate. Exactly. Exactly. I could not say it better, El Marie. Well, that was fun. I actually enjoyed that. So now I'm going to sit down and look into more sayings and stuff like that, you know. These short, memorable phrases or sentences, yeah. Like a stitch in time saves nine. The early bird catches the worm. Like, these are phrases that I learned when I was super, super young, and I still remember them till now. So it's also a good way of just learning and teaching, you know, kids, adults, and just good reminders to have and to memorize. Yeah. So I really, really had fun today. It was nice, you know, and it's always an opportunity for us to learn every single day, every single moment. I always love it when I learn something new. And yeah, today is one of those days. So, unless you guys have any questions for me, any thoughts, any comments before I go, I just want to thank everyone who's watching my videos, my shorts, my lives, commenting. You know, it really, really goes a long way to support this channel. Yeah. Are we going to hit the sake? Not yet, not now. I'm gonna eat and I'll hit the sack a little bit later on. But see, at least now I know what that means. Yeah, so thank you guys so much. Welcome to the new members. Welcome to the family. It's all about positivity over here, okay? So I thank you all so, so much. Please continue supporting the channel by you liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. It really goes a long way to help support this channel and to help us and help me create more content. All right? So I'll see you guys next time. As I always say, please, please, please be a kind human. It doesn't cost a thing to be kind, all right? So I will see you guys next time, okay? All right, bye. Bye, El Marie. Bye, everyone who's been watching. Bye, Dazzle Boy. Bye, Nobody. Everyone who's been watching, Glenn, Sam, Jess. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.